Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited (NNPCL) has released an expression of interest document outlining strict financial and technical requirements for firms interested in bidding to operate and maintain the Warri and Kaduna Refineries. Key criteria include a minimum average annual turnover of $2 billion, being debt-free, and providing 4 years of audited accounts along with latest credit ratings. The document emphasizes that bidders must demonstrate strong technical expertise, particularly in refinery operations, including fluid catalytic cracking units, instrumentation controls, and maintenance. And additionally, bidders must comply with Nigeria's local content laws, ensuring a significant percentage of their workforce and management are Nigerian nationals, and demonstrate a commitment to training and community engagement. The contract will be temporary, lasting up to 5 years, with guaranteed crude oil supply from NNPC. The process includes 3 stages. 1, expression of interest, technical and commercial, with submissions due by September 12, 2024. Now this is should we call it complete privatization, or just in 5 years you get to control the refineries, you get your staff, but they have to be Nigerian nationals, and all of these criteria that have been listed. We have been talking about making our refineries functional, and a lot of people have called for the government to why don't you bring in private individuals to get to look at this. Well, this is being done now. How would you react to this story?
May I ask you a question? Was there a time that the Port Harcourt, Warri and Kaduna Refinery functional? They were. They were very, very functional. Now the question is, at what point did our refineries get so dilapidated that it has brought us to where we are today? Are you aware that even in recent time, even with the fact that these refineries are not working, they are paying workers in these refineries? Now, I saw a document this morning that showed that Port Harcourt, that was being revamped with about $1.5 billion, has people working in a refinery that is not producing a barrel of oil this day. Nigerians are tired of hearing these stories going on every now and then. The question is, what do we do?
Is this going to help you? Now, this is an action. This is something new.
It is not going to help us in any way. This is going to heavily lead to what we call monopoly. Because now, when you start giving this refinery to private individuals, like I told you before, there are cabals. These cabals are still going to be the people that will still buy our oil. They will constitute the driving force that will determine the price, the demand and supply.
Okay.
And with this, once it gets out of hand, it means these forces are still going to be in control of the way this oil business is being run in Nigeria. And sorry to say this, within the next 3-4 months, we may start buying fuel for 2,000 per liter, because they are going to constitute the driving force in the economy.
So you actually think, okay, talking about there being cabals, that's actually your thoughts and your opinion. You feel because
it's
of the
not
actions.
my thought. This is what we have seen over time.
This is what you think from your reaction, from your ideology, that there might be cabals, right? But that's your thought. That's on you. But then looking at the whole thing now, you have said that this move would lead to monopoly and will increase the price of fuel in Nigeria at the end of the day. That's what you're saying.
That is what I'm saying.
All right, and Dandy, let's get your thoughts on this move.
Okay, first, it's a good move. Why do I say it's a good move? The time frame given out I wonder if there will be bidders. But if we finally get bidders, it's a plus to the government. This shows that the government...
Why would you wonder if there will be bidders? Why wouldn't there be bidders?
Because of the criteria. You're giving me 5 years to be able to fix the refinery. Now you're talking about, because if you're going there, I'll fix the refinery and then make it work. They say you have your own staff. So it means lease. They are leasing it out for 5 years. So I wonder who will stand in for that. But whosoever, and I don't know if I fix the refinery, you know how long it took Dangote to be able to get this, and then if I'm able to fix that within 2-3 years, how do I get my profit back? And that's why I said I wonder. But you can also tell there are some very rich persons in Nigeria who are good in taking risks. But it also explains that the government is even telling us here that we are
come
tired.
to the end of ourselves.
we are tired of this. Let's not play this pangolo any longer. Let's just tell Nigerians the truth. But these things, they would have done it since. How about the money you've been sinking into the Kaduna Refinery? He said about $1.6 billion. 1.5 billion. That's the one they told us, not the ones they didn't take record of. So if you share that money among Nigerians, even those who protested, all of us will start business. So, but be that as it may, this is a step in the right direction, if you ask me. Because if any bidder gets it right, the refineries will start working. The Kaduna Refinery, Warri Refinery will start working. And then after then, government takes it back. I pray if they take it back, they don't kill it.
You know, that's exactly what Alfred said earlier. Because he asked the question when he started his analysis, was there a time when these refineries were functional? Yes. So what happened?
Okay.
Now, the people who are in charge of these refineries, who were in charge of these refineries, and then something happened, are still the people, the government, right? That's what I mean now. Maybe faces have changed, but it's the government that have been in charge. Now, if we have private individuals coming and change the system and then handing it back over to the government, what is the guarantee that it will not be handled the way it was handled in the past that brought it to the state that it is currently?
Now, even if the individual is handling it, it will still go down. Because they are machines, they are equipments. There are times equipment will get dilapidated. So, but the problem here we have in Nigeria is maintenance system, maintenance culture. So, if whatever it is, whether government, individual, maintenance culture is the problem. We are even talking about refinery. Go to health sector, go to different sector. We have dilapidated building. Go to schools, dilapidated classroom systems and all that. So, the maintenance culture in Nigeria must come out. So when it comes to do with the individual, they know individual wants his personal business, personal sweat to go down. That's why it's as if the individual is always. That's why US and some other advanced countries allow the individual privatization, allow capitalism to thrive, and then pay tax to the government.
Are you saying privatization would be like complete privatization of these refineries would help in any way?
Why I will not have confidence is because some other things we privatize. How far? The electricity, how high is it? I even learned they want to give it to some of these telecommunication companies. How far, how good has it been? So it's always as if, even that of the Dangote they're even talking about is coming. The government will still put hand inside. Why are they not even removing their hand?
What do you mean government putting their hands inside? A private refinery.
I don't know if you have that. I don't know if you have whatever. They said the government will still be supplying. Do you understand? From this story you took now, they say the government is going to still be supplying. That means the government is still involved. So if
this is for the benefit of Nigeria's economy.
I don't even say it's bad. That's what I'm saying. If you want to make it private, allow the private man, the man who is in charge, to decide. He wouldn't want to lose. But if you are the one deciding for me, and mine is just to manage it. So what do you think?
The involvement they're talking about here is that they will get to provide the crude oil. You understand? They will get to provide the crude oil. You get to buy the crude oil from us, and that's just it.
Is the government not still involved? That's what I'm saying. If the government are they not still involved? So if you want to leave it, even that of the Dangote, government is still involved. So I'm
trying to see how there's a problem there. Alfred, do you see any problem in the NNPC being the ones to provide the crude oil?
Now, looking at this now, before this oil was shipped out of Nigeria and brought back to Nigeria, right? And now, Dangote has what it takes to produce enough of this internally and even export. Now, if Dangote can provide oil for the whole of Nigeria to consume, and they
Oil or you mean petrol?
yeah.
Okay.
Now, if there's a consensus between Dangote and the government, and they say, please let fuel be 100 naira.
Who do you say they? When you say they, who do you mean? The government?
The government.
Okay.
And because it is not internal, there are no external forces anymore, is it not?
Yeah.
We say this thing is now at the naira value, no dollar value. Now, if Port Harcourt, Warri, and Kaduna Refinery must work, we can export that in dollars, is it not?
Yes.
Then the GDP of that will be pumped back into our economy, and we start subsidizing other goods and commodities
Yes.
outside oil. You go to the market now, if you look at it, for a man that has produced yam in Kano, and the man is bringing the yams to Port Harcourt to sell. If the trailer load of yam is 5 million, 1 million would have gone into settlement of security agents, all of that. Who bears the broth? The end user,
Okay.
which is me and you. So if Dangote has opined that he has what it takes to produce and even export.
Talking about Dangote now, we have reports that Aliko Dangote, the chairman of Dangote Group, has announced that 650,000 barrels per day refinery will ensure the availability of petrol, that's a premium motor spirit, in Nigeria. And speaking at the official rollout of the petrol from the refinery, Dangote highlighted that the Nigerian National Petroleum Commission, Company Limited, will be the sole buyer of the refinery's product and will control petrol pricing. He emphasized that the refinery's primary role is to guarantee the availability of fuel, while pricing decisions will be managed by NNPC, as approved by the Federal Executive Council that is led by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Dangote expressed gratitude to Nigerians for their support and praised the president for fostering an environment that is conducive to achieving this significant project, which will contribute to the nation's growth and development. Finally, yes, Dandy.
Even what Dangote said, even him is not happy.
Oh, yeah.
From what he said as a businessman, is he happy? From what's Dangote, from this whole story, how can you be, I have the, okay, except Dangote is even telling us he's not even the sole owner of that refinery. And this has come to expose the reason why they've been giving dates. I stated this in your radio station, that it will be reviewed on why they've been shifting dates. Even here, I told you when you give me date, they said they are going to bring it this. I told you it won't even work. And now it has come to expose this whole thing. So even the Federal Executive Council is involved. It means government is even the owner of the refinery.
Wait, the Federal Executive Council is involved in what aspect are you referring to?
He said the federal government Executive Council has approved that the NNPC would determine the price or the pricing. Now they will also be the one to supply. So are you just the manager? Do you understand? Are you just the manager? So they will determine, they will supply. Your own is just to make the products available. It's like what we're saying here. When you go to maybe an event, the owner of the event hires an MC, and then the MC is now talking, trying to make the event work effectively. What that means that it's not like the MC is the owner of that event. He was hired to. So it's now being portrayed as if Dangote is now being hired to make products or PMS available to Nigerians. Why the government will determine the price? The government will determine the supply. What is his own?
When he talks about the government determining the pricing of fuel, do you think he's talking about from his refinery to the NNPC or from the NNPC to Nigerians?
It's clear. The statement is that his own is just to make the product available. That's what he said. Am I putting him out of context?
I just mentioned two things now, because all the while some people would actually feel like, okay, he's saying that after he sells out to the NNPC, they will get to define the price that as it will be sold by them now to Nigerians, independent marketers, and the rest of them. Or do you think that his statements is referring to the NNPC determining the price he, Dangote, will sell to them?
Well, I don't want to go into trying to interpret whether he.
No,
this
you're
is what
not
he meant.
interpreting what he meant. I'm trying to find out how you see it.
What I saw is that
Yes.
he is saying the government will supply the product to him. We are talking about refinery.
That's the crude oil.
The crude, yeah, yes. Now, we are talking about refinery. And then once it's being supplied to him, they determine the price. They will tell him what to sell. His own is to send it out, make it available. Except there are other things. I said he will come out tomorrow and say that's not what he meant. I said he will tell us I wasn't even saying this. That's what he has said. Is there any other really a prophet to even explain this?
But what some Nigerians saw this to be is he's trying to tell Nigerians how another face of the story now. It's probably but let me, before I come up with that now, let me see how you see this. How do you see Dangote saying that they will get to decide the price of fuel? Is it that they will get to decide how much he sells to them, or they will get to decide how much they will sell to Nigerians?
Earlier on, I talked about cabal, didn't I? Now, do that, Dangote was so frustrated that he wanted to even sell off the Egina project, because this Dangote project is all about Egina, of which I am an insider, of which I was even given a subcontract to provide contractors during the building of the engineer. I still have the prototype at home. You know, Dangote has been so frustrated that he wanted to even give out the project. He was looking for buyers already, and they came with a consensus for him to be part of this. Sorry to say this, even Robert Wigwe, late Robert Wigwe, was involved. He was part of the building process of this Dangote Refinery. Now, when this government policy started and the cabal started playing to the gallery, Dangote
allegedly, all of these allegations, everything
now,
you have said now.
Now, you look at it now, Dangote has only 4% equity in Dangote group of companies, and he was the richest man in sub-Saharan Africa, is he not? Now, he diverted into oil. Do you know why Dangote agreed to their terms, allegedly? This is because he knows that he'll be at the losing end of all of this. So to this, he will say, okay, take it, but there should be a price regulatory so that at least it will suit all and sundry. This is what I call monkey they walk, bamboo they chop. In the on the side of our government. That is why NNPC is systematically shifting themselves from all of this. Because they have told us 4 different times that the refineries will work, and they never worked. And Nigerians are tired of their lies. That is why they want to shift the blame to independent.
So a lot of Nigerians are excited. Yes, they are excited now that Dangote has said that they're really not fuel and all of that. A lot of Nigerians are excited. So don't you think this is like a disclaimer of Dangote coming out to say, I am not the one who's going to decide the price of fuel at the end of the day. Since they buy from me, they will get to decide how much they will sell to you.
No, what are they excited? Availability. It's not even available now. It's scarce.
Yes, that's why they're excited that finally they're really excited.
That's one. Secondly, just yesterday afternoon, the NNPC price went higher. That's to give room for that of Dangote to come, so it will just get a bit, just little differences. It's a simple strategy they are using on Nigerians, and the end have not been heard. In fact, Nigerians should not even rejoice over this. We thought Dangote was coming to end this brouhaha in that angle, but they've made it so. In fact, they so frustrated the system. I thought the system was that there are other persons in the business who are frustrating him from overtaking the business. I didn't even know it has to do with government who wants to get this, who wants to get that, and all that. Once this happened, Dangote is just agreeing to turn. From my own view, we're just agreeing to turn. Let me just start. With time, there will be another fight, because on control, there will be a fight on control. So he has given it up. Let the product just run. At the time, there may be another fight, and when that happens, it will either lead to price increase or something else. So, but if the only solution we have here is that if we get bidders in that of those refineries, like you mentioned earlier, Kaduna and Warri, and then they have come in fully, and then there is competition. That's the only way Nigerians will not be breathe very well. But in this case, we are all forces, both Nigeria, Africa, and all that have put their eggs on that, what's it called, on that Dangote refinery. And they have killed other refineries. I repeat. And then they have allowed that one to come in. Everybody is now focusing on that. They are monopolizing it, so they decide what comes in, they decide who takes what. And that's the situation.
The layman is asking a question. What changed with the prices of this, with the price of petrol? Okay, now we say there was subsidy before, and that's why it was the price that it was. But then when subsidy was taken off, it became higher, right? That's how we see it. Yeah. But then recently we've been having reports that the NNPC are saying that they are even still subsidizing fuel half the price they are getting it from outside the country.
That's corruption.
So what exactly then changed? If they're still subsidizing the price, it means there's still some sort of subsidy there. So yes. Why are we still buying it at this amount?
That's why he talked about the cabal, and that's why I'm also going far to say the forces. That's the cabal. Some persons have brought in all their account number have been fixed in that place. Once this is done, give me this. Once this is done, and the thing I think what happened here is that government is trying to shift, but it's not easy to shift. The prices have been going so high because they came up with the removal of fuel subsidy in such a way that they allow the force of demand and supply to determine. But the product availability isn't there. The refinery they were going to refine outside, the refineries weren't working. There were not things on ground to sustain the removal of fuel subsidy.
Then what subsidy are the NNPC are talking about?
Whatever subsidy, they have to now go back, because if they follow the way, the policy, if they stand by that policy, we're buying it 1,000 now, we may buy it even 3,000. So the government is just trying to see how, in fact, they've made mistake. They don't even know how to withstand it. So they're trying to see how they get to the masses with a lower price. That's this whole thing playing out.
All right, at this point, we'll take some time off, just a very, very short break.